Welcome back to OCR MEI Further Mathematics B. Today we're doing chapter 2.4, Argand sketches. So when we sketch on an Argand diagram, there are two types of lines or sets of points that you need to know of. One of them is circular and one of them is line, both of which have its own interpretation in the algebra form, and I'm gonna talk you through that. Let's get started on doing a circular loci. So loci is just a term for a set of points on an Argand diagram. So if the imaginary complex number z or z is defined as shown right here, then the modulus of the difference between 1 take I and z is 2. That means that around the point 1 take I, you have a radius of 2. So yeah, the point between the difference in length or distance or displacement rather between the point in concern has to be 2 away from the point described over here. So it's kind of similar to how the circle equation works back when we're doing 2D coordinates x and y. You have x take a or squared, as if you have a x value shifted to the right by a. Kind of works the same here. So let's first define the point at our center. The center point is 1 take I. So on the Argand diagram it's 1 take I, so we have a point there as the center. Then because the modulus of the differences is 2, which means that it's a radius 2 circle. So it kind of looks like this. I am terrible at drawing circles on the pad anyway. God, that's really terrible, isn't it? Anyway, you know what I mean. It doesn't need to be elegant, it's just basic idea of this loci is a circle around the point 1 and minus 1, and you have a radius defined on the value on the left here. Now for a line loci, it's normally just a radial line going from the origin, so it would normally be defined as just the argument. So if a line has argument z equals to pi on 4, then you will have a line pointing up pi on 4 away from the real axis in the anti-clockwise direction. So that would mean that this angle has to be pi on 4. This will be the line defined over here. And if you have inequalities rather than equalities, then that means that it would have to be the entire region, either greater than pi on 4 or less than pi on 4. And for arguments, they normally give you a range, so it would be something between pi on 4 and 3 pi on 4. That would give you another 45-degree line on the left. And yeah, the entire region will be defined as this whole region. So the tips for this entire section of drawing loci is just basically do take care of the inequalities, because sometimes greater than means within the circle, or like to the left of your curve or line, or like it can flip. Basically, it depends on how they wrote the equation. So make sure you do quite a lot of these kind of questions and do practice your graph drawing skills. A compass might be a good idea. Then we have the questions. So find the loci described by both of these equations. And I will give you about 5 seconds to pause and do whatever you need to get these done. And make sure you plot it on an Argand diagram. So in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and there we go. This is the red shaded area is the loci described, because it is for distances less than the radius, which means that it is within the circle, and it is between the angle 3 on 4 pi and pi, where pi is just horizontal left. And so this set is the only value that fits the both equations, and therefore this is the correct solution. That's it for this video. I hope you've learned something. If you have any questions, do leave me a comment in the comment section below, and I will see you on my next one.